All right, I'm going to give you a very quick overview of hunter-gatherers, and this is just preparation for you to be ready for the essential points that you're going to need to know for your exam that's coming up on Unit 1, which covers lessons 1, 2, and 3 that we've been working on for the last couple weeks. And as you go through, the video will occasionally stop and you will be required to answer a question. So you can't advance through the video until after you've answered the question. So make sure that you either type it in or mark the multiple choice question, what have you. But I want to do a quick review of hunter-gatherers. And I'm going to do that by looking first at the main ideas: geography, early humans adapted to the natural environment; culture, humans created tools to ensure survival and to improve life; and culture, early humans developed language, religion, and art. As with informational text, I always go through and I look at the images first, I look at the headings, I look at what it is they kind of want me to know before I actually start reading the text. So the statue of a hunter who has what looks like a spear. Looks like he's holding the spear thrower in his hand, and it looks like the handle is in the shape of a horse, and then you attach the end of the spear to this end over here. You use spear throwers to throw spears faster and farther. Devices greatly improve their ability to hunt animals. Yeah, interesting. If you're out there hunting a very large moose or something like that, you're obviously, first thing is you're going to want to get close enough so that you can get it, and not so close that it's going to turn around and start biting you or attacking you or whatever. Let's read about hunter-gatherers, but let's take a look at some of this stuff. Look at the headings first. Build on what we know, early humans' way of life. Essential question: how did early humans interact with the environment? Yeah, curious to know that too. Hunter-gatherers adapt to environments. Hunter-gatherers, whenever you see this highlighted in yellow, you know that that's a vocabulary word, and right there they're going to tell you what that means. Small bands. Is that like the Beatles? 4 people in a group? I don't know. Early humans on the move. Nomads. Migration. Maps. 15,000 years ago. BC. That's 17,000 years ago. What is this? Hunter-gatherer people. So everything that's in orange, 15,000 BC, all these people were hunter-gatherers. And then we go up to the year 1500 AD. So interesting how hunter-gatherers have kind of, and then finally in the year 2000, which has been 17 years ago, we have just these small little dots all over the place. Interesting. Interpreting maps. What has happened to the distribution of hunter-gatherers between 15,000 BC and the present? Well, it looks like it has gone down quite a bit, doesn't it? More tools. Among the tools used by early humans were the mattock, a digging tool, the harpoon, and the axe. So something for digging out roots and vegetables and things, something for probably hacking apart large animals into smaller edible pieces, and a harpoon to catch maybe fish or things like that. The development of tools. Well, we all need tools in order to survive. The use of fire, 500,000 years ago. Development of technology. Most people think of technology nowadays as computers and stuff, but technology is really just tools that you need in order to survive. Early human culture, language, religion, prehistoric cave art. We've kind of talked about this stuff in the past. Art. Lesson summary, what you really need to know before moving on. And then the lesson review. Oh, that's cool. Antler headdress. This red deer antler headdress, which is about 9,500 years old, may have been used as a disguise in hunting or worn in hunting ceremonies. So, primitive form of camouflage. Those of you who go out hunting know that most people wear camouflage in order to keep from being seen by whatever it is you're hunting. All right, let's read. Hunters and gatherers. Build on what you know. Have you ever gone camping? How would you survive if you got lost in the woods? Where would you find food and water? In this chapter, you will learn how early humans got food to eat, how they lived, and what tools they used. It's really interesting considering that, back 15,000 years ago, you didn't get lost in the woods. That's where you were living. Early humans' way of life. How did early humans interact with the environment? Like early humans, you interact with the natural environment every day, often without thinking about it. You interact with the weather by wearing boots in the snow or sunglasses in the sunshine. Even your food is a product of the environment. Hunter-gatherers adapt to environments. Early humans were hunter-gatherers. Okay, that's not the definition of hunter-gatherers, early humans. You have to read on to get the definition. They hunted animals and gathered plants for food. Boom, there you go. That's the definition. When hunter-gatherers no longer had enough food to eat, they moved to another location. Early humans also depended on the natural environment for shelter. Some groups lived in caves and rock shelters. People who lived on plains or in the desert areas may have made shelters out of branches, plant fibers, or animal skins. African savanna. This photograph shows the kind of landscape over which the first hunter-gatherers roamed. Savannas cover 40% of the African continent. And that is a beautiful photograph. Small bands. Hunter-gatherers lived together in small bands, each made up of several families. The size of a group, probably around 30 people, reflected the number of people who could live off the plants and animals in a given region. Men hunted and fished. Women gathered food such as berries and nuts from plants that grew wild. They cared for the children who also worked. Early humans on the move. Hunter-gatherers were nomads, people who move from place to place. Oh, okay, so a nomad is a person who moves from place to place. Movement often was limited. Groups returned to the same places with the changes of seasons. At certain times of the year, early bands joined together, forming larger communities. There was probably time for storytelling, meeting friends, and finding marriage partners. Early humans also moved to new and distant lands. The act of moving from one place to settle in another is called migration. So not being nomadic, but when you actually move and settle and stay for one period of time, you're migrating. Migrations may have been the result of peoples following animals to hunt. By around 15,000 BC, hunter-gatherers had migrated throughout much of the world. They even traveled across a land bridge connecting Siberia and Alaska. In this way, they entered the Americas. This map is really not a very good way of showing the land bridge between Siberia and Alaska, but if you were to take this map here and fold this end around to this end in order to make a cylinder, you'd notice that Siberia here and Alaska here would meet at the edges that you folded over. And at one point there was a land bridge and people were able to walk from here because all humans came from Africa and they started walking, and then they came across and then they started populating North, Central, and South America. The arrival of a migrating group in the territory of another people could lead to both good and bad outcomes. Everyone benefited when knowledge and tools were shared. However, people sometimes turned violent when they felt threatened by newcomers. They feared that the newcomers might try to take their territory. Sometimes they may have feared them just because they were different. Review. Why did hunter-gatherers move often? You might see that on a test. The development of tools. Essential question. What were some tools created by early humans? Imagine that you are planning a camping trip. Think about what tools you will need to make sure your trip is safe and enjoyable. Like you, early humans relied on tools. Use of fire. Around 500,000 years ago, early humans learned to make and control fire. Fire provided heat and light, and it enabled people to cook food. A good fire offered protection from animals. Early humans also used fire to temper or harden tools made of metal. The development of technology. Technology consists of all the ways in which people apply knowledge, tools, and inventions to meet their needs. Technology dates back to early humans. At least 2 million years ago, people made stone tools for cutting. Early humans also made carrying bags, stone hand axes, awls, tools for piercing holes in leather or wood, and drills. In time, humans developed more complex tools such as hunting bows made of wood. They learned to make flint spearheads and metal tools. Early humans used tools to hunt and butcher animals and to construct simple forms of shelter. Technology, these new tools, gave humans more control over their environment. These tools also set the stage for a more settled way of life. Vocabulary strategy, this is good. You can figure out what technology means from its root and suffix. The Greek root, techen, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, means craft or skill. The suffix, logi, means study of, so technology means the study and application of crafts or skills. Cool. Early human culture. Essential question number 3. What kind of culture did early humans create? What sets humans apart from other creatures? Art, language, and religion are special to humans and help create their culture. Language. Human language probably developed as a result of the need for people to work together. One theory suggests that the need for cooperation during the hunt spurred language development. Hunters needed to be able to talk to one another in order to outsmart, trap, and kill animals for food. Another theory suggests that the cooperation needed to gather and share food led to the development of language. Religion is the worship of gods, or spirits. Early humans probably believed that everything in nature, including rocks, trees, and animals, had a spirit. Some archaeologists believe that early cave paintings of animals were made to honor the spirits of the animals killed for food, such as this picture here. Prehistoric cave art, comparisons across cultures. Prehistoric people in different parts of the world painted scenes on cave walls, such as rock paintings. Such rock paintings are among the oldest art in the world. The cave art on the top was done by a Native American artist in Utah. The painting shows a holy man holding a snake. Snakes were seen as links between the human and underground worlds. The painting at the bottom was done by an Australian Aboriginal artist. It shows a Dreamtime spirit. Dreamtime is a supernatural past in which ancestor spirits shaped the natural world. Skill builder, interpreting visuals, making inferences. What do these examples tell you about early human art? On the basis of their art, how important does religion seem to have been in the lives of prehistoric peoples? Art. Prehistoric art gives us insights into humans' daily life and shared beliefs. Early humans created art in caves and rock shelters. They also created art they could carry with them. More than 200 sites of early cave art have been discovered in France and Spain. Cave paintings, thousands of years old, show lively images of bulls, stallions, and bison. Prehistoric art exists in Africa, Asia, Europe, Australia, and the Americas. Jewelry and figurines are examples of portable art. Early humans may have worn these items. Other items may have had religious meaning. Art also included music, dance, and stories. Art that could be performed anywhere. Review. What were the main elements of prehistoric culture? We talked about the antler headdress, 9,500 years old. Your lesson summary. Hunter-gatherers were nomads. Fire and tools improved lives. Early humans created language, religion, and art. And why does it matter now? Early humans created the first tools. Today, technology continues to improve our lives and help us survive.